Happy to welcome back to our show from Orthopedic Rehab Specialist Director of Marketing and Events, Mark Stiles. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Bart. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good
How
to
are
see
you?
you. Go, hanging in there,
By this point, Mark and I would have been together probably 4 or 5 times at races.
Yes.
Yeah, we've lost quite a few already.
Yeah, in this window we have, and we're scrambling to replace the date for the Rose Run at the moment. Mm-hmm. All of the other races have found new dates, which is great. Yeah. But the Rose Run is looking at July 18th as its replacement date. It was going to be June 13th. Mm-hmm. But I did talk to Jeff and Tina Beagle the other day about possibly, their conflict is that if the campus is not open, they can't have an activity on campus, and that's where they've held the race in the past. So we may move the Rose Run to a virtual event if we can't have it on July 18th because of the date conflicts with everything else. And everyone has bumped their events, not just our race series, but all these other events that would have happened. So the Rose Run is looking at July 18th. Tunnel to Towers is moved to August 29th. The Autism Run is now September 12th. And we have moved our ORS race from late April to October 24th, which gives us the opportunity to celebrate Oktoberfest at Grand River Brewery, which is okay. I mean, it's not a bad bump to move to that date. But we certainly want the safety of all runners. The opportunity to stagger their starts because of chip timing is actually, it works okay with social distancing because it doesn't matter when you cross the line. Or the starting line, you can finish any time and it keeps accurate track of your time. So it's been a juggle as much as everything else has been, opening and shuttering clinics for a while and then reopening them, and now the dates of races are moving and events are changing. It's been a very fluid time for us, but we're still doing okay. We just had a conference call and everybody seems to be okay. So
good.
Yeah.
So would the Rose Run be the first race? Was that how it would return the series?
Well, the firecracker would be the 4th of July in Hanover, and I guess that would depend on, that's an outdoor event, and if 4th of July parades are being canceled, so I'm not sure where things are with Jeff and his race. I know the Concord Classic is June 24th. That one would probably be, again, based on the fact that it's on Concord High School's property, that might be impacted by the school being open or closed. Mm-hmm. I've not talked to David Jordan yet, the race organizer, but there's a lot of that details of that still going on. All I can say, I guess briefly, would be that anyone who's interested in the races in the Jackson community, we have an orsraceseries.com website that is trying to keep everything up to date as soon as I learn something. And so it's everybody knows it's just hard to pin things down right now for sure.
Well, congratulations to ORS on the opening of their latest clinic this week. You swung the doors open for the first time on Tuesday.
Yeah, yesterday the first PT patient came into the new Leslie Clinic, where we're located in the Value Land Center right next to the Welcome Pharmacy. If you take exit 56 off of 127 north or south, and just work your way, turn left at the McDonald's there at the corner, and you're gonna see our clinic. So it'll be a combination of our physical therapy services as well as our performance training side. Performance training, as many people know, used to be located in the RAC Center, and then we've moved that now, and it's new turf, new equipment. It's a nice big clean facility, and we put a lot of investment into it. We were planning to open the first part of April. Mm-hmm. So opening right now, some people have questioned, why are you opening a new clinic in the middle of all of this? But it was our plan anyway, and people in Leslie have been asking for the services. So we're just trying to offer the services they're asking for at this time. So
I would guess that the performance training would fall into the category of gyms when it comes to what can be open and when.
Yes,
right?
It's kind of a fine line because it's inside a facility that is appointment based, and so in some ways it isn't a fitness open air center that you just check in as a member and use whatever you want to when you want to. But it also falls under the fitness center side for the athletes. So we're walking the line. We're trying to listen to what is going on from the governor's recommendations, but our expectation is that June 1st, we will be able to start serving the local athletes in the area, Mason, Leslie, Northern Jackson, even Holtz, to come to that facility and work out with Adam and get things going, especially all the athletes that normally would have been already in the games right now or AAU and you're getting ready for what could potentially be your games starting back up again in the fall, if you haven't been working out or, you're a young athlete, it'd be a good time to contact us in Leslie at the training center.
Yeah, for athletes without any type of fitness facility at home, there really isn't anything. There hasn't been anything open. Even the schools haven't been able to have their weight rooms open.
Yeah, and challenging not to have a game scenario, where you're running up and down the courts against other players. And now even if you've been running or staying active, some of the things we do to specifically train athletes for certain types of sports that they're in, we try and train the whole athlete, but we certainly want to help them get better at the one they want to be good at. So adult fitness was something that we know we've worked with you through that as well. And adult fitness will be offered at that location. We just don't know how that looks or when that opens. That does more fall under the fitness center type of category. And so we're just trying to figure it all out hour by hour. It's been interesting.
Well, today the governor eased restrictions on physicians and medical practices so that those can open with restrictions on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Does that include the kinds of things you do, or have you been able to do that along the way?
It would, yes. Yeah. We're thankful that was announced today. We've seen a slower buildup of patients coming through anything that was hip or knee or back related surgical type events for people. But the non-essential medicals that they're referring to in today's announcement, I think will start to turn the doctors' offices around a little bit, start to give them some more opportunities to assess the injuries or the pain, and then send them our way. But we are, as of this week, all 8 of our ORS clinics are now open for what we call live treatment, where you can come now see us for an appointment in clinic. Protocols are all in place. We have a questionnaire at the front desk that will make sure that no one with symptoms is allowed inside. Once we have our healthy patients already inside the clinic, because we've kept others out, no visitors allowed, which keeps us really just our healthy patients that are in pain but not ill inside the walls of our clinic. And then we clean and wash everything. We all wear masks. We recommend masks for the patient to bring their own mask, but we will provide one if they don't have one with them. And that's really just for the safety and mindset of everybody inside the clinic. And so if we keep everything clean and sanitized, if we keep the illness out of the clinic and we just use the questionnaire to make sure that happens, we space our appointments now so that there aren't more than a certain number of patients on the actual equipment or on the floor. So we're doing all of the spatial things that we need to do as well. And again, this is just an ongoing adjustment based on, we'll see the numbers. We've brought the staff back. We're ready for patients. We know people are hurting. We know the 9 weeks, 10 weeks that people have been inside has been hard. It's been emotionally draining. So they're emotionally and physically needing to get out and start to get active again. Mm-hmm. It takes professionals like ours on our team to gently bring them right back to where they were before when things closed down, or possibly for the first time. Know that, man, I'm not in good shape. I really need to get walking, or I need to start running, or I need to start lifting and get some of the strength back in their backs or their knees or their hips. And we've kind of set it up so that our staff has gone through emotional training in the sense that we know that people have just experienced something no one has ever been through before. So there will be patients that are worried about coming in, worried about even going out of their house, but still in the pain and need our assistance. So be empathetic and be helpful and be supportive and clean everything. And we should be able to kind of start the engine again. We don't expect any sort of instant ramp up. I mean, there's no one in our business, I wouldn't think across the country, no one in the PT industry that would expect all of a sudden PT clinics are overwhelmed with people. It's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. But we do know people need assistance, and that's where we are.
Well, PPP doesn't just stand for Paycheck Protection Program. It also stands for Pandemic Pounds Problem.
Well, it's a situation that was put on people, and I think that everyone's reaction was several people have done things in so many different ways. I mean, as how people reacted to this moment. I mean, all of a sudden you had access to all of the movies you'd never seen before because you were so busy, you know, and then you have a couch that feels pretty good and a refrigerator with food in it. But, you know, it is really a mindset. It's an overall mindset of wellness. We're trying to be a community partner to make people think about not only just, we don't want to be just part of the after solution of the fixing pain. I mean, we want to be part of the process that you think about what you eat, how you spend your day. Do you work out? Do you walk? Do you exercise at all? And then when they get into us and we can help get them back to their feet and pain-free, and or at least limited pain, then I hear our PTs ask our patients all the time, what's your plan from here? What do you plan to do now? How will you stay active? You know, the summer is here, and this is the time when people are very active, and we understand concerns and the fears, but at the same time, you can walk alone, you can ride alone, get a bike, get a pet, get a dog, keep moving, stay active. You know, and those types of things, really, it's a mental thing as much as it is physical. And like I say, I think our team has been kind of retrained into thinking that it is more than just a physical treatment we're doing on people now. It is much the whole assessment of their mindset and their physicality. And my role in the marketing of that is really just to let people know we are accessible, we're taking care of all of the cleaning like we're supposed to, and that, you know, they can come into us or they can choose not to. I mean, with the telehealth, that's also new since this pandemic started, that PT was not something people thought of for telehealth reasons. You know, you can treat me over my computer, by a phone, and we wouldn't call it treating as much as we would call it assessing what their condition is and then making suggestions from there. But that wasn't there before this, so I think that's also been a nice tool for us to learn how to use it.
Well, speaking of cleaning and safety, there's all new protocols, and you brought along a video that demonstrates what kind of safe environment you'll encounter at ORS. Yeah. Let's check it out.
I'm Kevin Barclay, co-owner of Orthopaedic Rehab Specialists. As we continue to work through this COVID crisis together, we wanted to update you on where we were at Orthopaedic Rehab and how we're ready to continue to serve you. Next week, we open up all of our physical therapy clinics to anyone who feels comfortable and ready and needs physical therapy. I'm sitting right here in our brand new clinic in Leslie, be opening for the first time next Tuesday, May 19th. We're going to kind of run through what we've been doing and what you'll expect when you come into Orthopaedic Rehab. First of all, as you call and you schedule, we ask you to be flexible as we're trying to keep our patients spaced and avoid overcrowding. When you first come in, please be assured that everything you touch, whether it be door handles, the handicap button, the countertop, has been wiped off thoroughly and will be regularly throughout the day. As you walk in and approach our office, you might see protective plastic shields. That's for the benefit of both you and our staff, as well as our staff wearing masks. We will also require our patients coming in to please, for the safety of yourself and for our staff, continue wearing masks. If you do not have one, we'll be able to provide one for you. As you look around, you might see a few less chairs in our office spaces from what you saw before. And we ask that people stay in spaces, give yourself some distance so that we can keep everybody safe. Because of that, we will ask that your visitors or the people coming to bring you to your physical therapy appointments stay in the car or maybe go run an errand or something when you're coming in for therapy. No disrespect, again, just trying to keep from overcrowding. If there is an absolute need, or the patient happens to be a minor and parent wants to be in there, of course we'll make accommodations. And those visitors and family and friends, we'll ask them to wear masks. You'll have a lot more space between fellow patients, and therapists will definitely be able to give you a very one-on-one care during this time. Every piece of equipment that you use will be wiped down, and we'll be asking you to wash your hands before you use any piece of equipment, and we'll be following up afterward cleaning. We have scheduled cleaning before shifts, before lunch, and after work, so everything is constantly in a state of sterilization. We are hoping that by going through all of these different procedures, we can provide the optimum environment of safety while we also provide our physical therapy services. We want to make sure we stress just how much we are doing to have a safe environment, but we also want to stress, and don't want to get lost in the message of our current environment, is that we continue to provide the best physical therapy services. We have been doing it for 32 years, and we hope to continue doing it for at least 32 more, whether a pandemic comes again or anything else that tries to get in our way. We thank you for your support. This community has been wonderful, and we look forward to serving you.
Kevin Barkley with the pandemic goatee there.
He said the grandpa beard. He was on the conference call today, and he said it is real. He started tugging on it, so it is real. Speaking of the conference call, one of the things that reassures me every day is when we had the conference calls throughout, and the messaging changed a lot, as you know, and that made it challenging for myself, the marketing, and my assistant Ashley. Who has worn many hats, and everyone's wearing many hats. That's what's really come down to. But the ownership, I watched them, and I was on your show, I think, when it was first kind of unfolding back in late March, was making a decision of a staff of 150 people and 8 clinic locations, and something that is a product that's based on servicing people who come through doctors' offices with referrals and things like that, and just trying to figure out all of those things along the way for those decisions it was just impactful to me to watch this microcosm of what's happened globally, to watch how they had to make those decisions. And if people know the management of ORS and know Jerry and Kevin and Brandon and Aaron and our staff, I hope they're not surprised to hear that these guys were very sympathetic to the staff the whole time, but they had to make executive business decisions, and we went from 8 open clinics down to 4. Mm-hmm. And then we were getting calls from people that were concerned about coming in but in pain, so they took our shuttered clinics that were closed and they put a PT in them, and then we had private appointments for a while. And so they figured that out. They had to figure out how to open and just be available for people. And you had people that, staff-wise needed to be laid off, or there were people who wanted furloughs because of, and just figuring that all out. And, but the communication was just always sympathetic and understanding. And even today, on today's conference call, was the first time we had a lot of our staff back, because we just opened all 8 clinics this week. And it was the first time people had really had a chance to talk to other staff members that haven't been in direct communication through all of this, and to still feel that ORS team spirit in a situation where we've been divided and everybody's had to deal with it in their own ways. And we've had Zoom conference calls like happy hour, where we get some people on the team, and there'll be some staffers where kids are like hitting mom in the head with a pillow while they're in the middle of this, Zoom thing. And I'm, my kids are grown, so it's different for me than like parents that are on our staff that are trying to deal with this. So that's the real side of it. To me, that's the side that makes this something more than just, a business in Jackson. It is a company that provides, an employment and a lifestyle and a part of our communities for everybody. And it's just the way they've handled it with class and dignity, and they really truly cared about the staff and all their decisions, as difficult as they were to make. They really did a fine job. I was very impressed with it. I was glad I wasn't an owner. I didn't have to make those decisions, but I was real happy with the way they handled it. Great to hear. Yeah. Thanks for coming in, and we'll keep it here on JTV as we get more concrete plans as to the events of the ORS running series. We'll have them right here on JTV. Well, good luck, and congratulations on the opening of a new clinic. Thank you. Come see it. I will. All right. I'm anxious to see it. Turn left at the McDonald's. That's right. You can't miss it. You can see it from both sides of the highway. Yeah. From Orthopaedic Rehab Specialist, Director of Marketing and Events, Mark Stiles. Thank you, Bart. Thank you, Mark. Stay tuned. Up next here on JTV, some celebrating. We've got the